we still have an opportunity to stop this rising rate of infection and hopefully preserve many of the aspects of our daily lives that have returned in recent weeks.
As coronavirus cases rise in Marion County, Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett announces new temporary restrictions to slow the spread of COVID-19.
Sad that he's not going to be able to start middle school the way that, we would like to, but you got to roll with the punches.
Tonight, we're hearing from parents as state and local leaders roll out plans to keep students as safe as possible as they return back to the classroom.
This is RTV6 News at 5, working for you.
And now at 5, Marion County taking a step back to protect the public from COVID-19. Good evening, I'm Amanda Starantino.
And I'm Mark Mullins. Mayor Joe Hogsett just announced temporary new restrictions to stem the resurgence of coronavirus cases in Marion County. The mayor cited alarming new numbers for the city. The rate of positive COVID-19 cases has jumped nearly 50% in just the last week. Those rates are especially hitting young adults between 18 and 30 who tend to congregate in gyms, bars, and other indoor facilities. With that in mind, the mayor has ordered all bars that do not serve food to close until at least August 12th. Restaurants will return to 50% capacity for indoor dining. The city will work with businesses to expand outdoor dining. Social events may not exceed 50 people. Churches can hold indoor services at 50% capacity. Outdoor services will not be restricted as long as social distancing rules are followed. Hair and nail salons and spas will be by appointment only. Gyms can now operate at 25% capacity. Sports venues also under a 25% cap. Mayor Hogsett says the restrictions are the only way to get a handle on COVID-19.
A return to these measures isn't what we wanted. But right now, public health is our number one priority. Nothing else can move forward without it.
The restrictions take effect tomorrow. Mayor Hogsett also reminds all residents masks are still mandatory. They must be worn nose and mouth covered whenever you are around others in public, indoors or outdoors.
And Mayor Hogsett also announced schools in Marion County will not be able to return to class until August 5th, with more guidance coming next week. Meanwhile, state leaders are also laying out plans for schools across the state and giving examples as to what would happen if a student does test positive. RTV6's Nicole Griffin is taking a closer look at that guidance tonight and finding out what questions and concerns parents still have.
The state's plan outlines guidance for schools to keep students in small groups or pods throughout the day and have them move together throughout the school building. Tonight, we're hearing from one mom who is sending her kids back to school in high school and middle school. She still has questions about how this will work.
My oldest is very adamant that, Mom, I need back to school. I need the more teacher time. So I'm hesitantly saying, okay.
We first introduced you to Amber Starrett and her two daughters after schools closed down and they started e-learning back in March. The girls are now preparing to start 7th and 9th grade in Wayne Township and plan to attend in person. State leaders used these examples to show how they plan to deal with a positive COVID-19 case in the classroom. With younger students staying in smaller groups and older kids having assigned seats, the school will identify who spent more than 15 minutes within 6 feet of the person for the 48 hours prior to symptoms or a positive test. All of the students identified will be required to quarantine for 14 days.
7th and 8th grade and 9th grade or even higher, they're constantly switching around, seeing different teachers. That's my uneasy point about that. I don't know how they're going to actually fulfill them being in small groups.
Wayne Township's roadmap back to school task force is working on multiple options and says plans are changing and developing as new guidance comes down. The superintendent says at the high school level, keeping students together in small groups is not exactly realistic, but plans could include reducing passing periods, seating students alphabetically in class, and requiring assigned seats at lunch or having students eat in the classroom. Working for you, Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
And the Wayne Township Superintendent also points out 7th through 9th grade students are already on block scheduling, which means they have 4 classes a day and just 3 passing periods. The state is requiring all students 3rd through 12th grade to wear a face covering, and they recommend all students, regardless of age, to wear a mask on the school bus.
Today, the state health department reported one of the highest one-day increases in positive COVID-19 tests since the pandemic began. Nearly 1,000. The number is 954 to be exact, all occurring yesterday. That puts the statewide total at more than 59,000. Coronavirus deaths remain in the double digits for the 3rd day in a row here. 17 more people reported today that occurred between July 12th and yesterday. The statement total stands at 2,683. After pressure from Call 6 Investigates and advocates, the state just released nursing home deaths and cases broken down by facility. Until now, the state has only revealed the overall number of cases and deaths at long-term care facilities. The data shows 2 American Senior Communities facilities have had the most deaths. Harrison Terrace in Indianapolis with 38 and Greenwood Meadows in Johnson County with 35 resident deaths. 1,390 nursing home residents have died statewide since March 1st from COVID-19. The state does not plan to release where nursing home workers were employed when they got sick or died.
Because there are so few staff deaths, to protect their privacy, we will not list totals on staff deaths for each facility. And also because staff may work at multiple facilities, it is possible that a case may have been reported involving a staff by more than one nursing home.
The new numbers reveal at least 12 nursing home workers have died from COVID-19. If you'd like to see our nursing home database, you can find it in this story on the RTV6 app or at WRTV.com. It will allow you to look up the number of cases and deaths at a specific facility. Keep in mind, this data is from March 1st to July 14th.
And while masks will be required indoors starting Monday across the state, some people are not confident that will make a difference in slowing the spread of the coronavirus. RTV6's Stephanie Wade explains why casino workers want better enforcement.
We've got them sitting at machines and, not wearing their mask. And if they're coughing or sneezing, then, that machine can be infected.
For about a month now, employees and guests at Indiana Grand Racing and Casino in Shelbyville have been required to wear masks inside. But Donna Billman, who works as a slot technician, says no one is really enforcing that, and many are not complying. The casino's policy is if you are actively drinking, eating, or smoking, you don't have to have your mask on. But otherwise, you do.
I don't feel protected at all. You go by them once and you say something, and then you come back by 20 minutes later and they're still without a mask.
Today, the Unite Here Local 23 union delivered a petition signed by 200 casino employees across the state to managers demanding for better enforcement of the company's mask policy, plus affordable health care. 87% of employees reported coming to work sick in a survey because they couldn't afford to miss work. Though Governor Holcomb's executive order mandating mask wearing statewide starts Monday, Billman says based on what she's seeing at work, that won't make much of a difference.
They're standing in groups and without wearing their masks, holding their drinks, and I just don't see that it's going to change.
Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
And we will stay on top of this story and let you know if any changes are made. Still ahead on RTV6, the pandemic is creating hundreds of job opportunities here in Indianapolis. We have the details on how you can apply.
But first, you're going to meet a man who took both the teachings of his mom and his position in the community to give back to the hungry, to veterans, and to families working to make ends meet. He's the recipient of the Jefferson Award for Multiplying Good.
And Mark, changes are underway. You can see the changes, you can feel the changes. We'll talk about what happens as we roll into the weekend coming up.
Unemployment numbers out today tell two different stories, with Indiana having the better story to share right now. The U.S. Labor Department reported today another 1.4 million Americans filed for first-time unemployment benefits last week. It's the first time initial jobless claims have gone up in nearly 4 months. Meanwhile, the number of Hoosiers filing first-time claims dropped last week to their lowest level since the start of the pandemic in mid-March. The number of claims for the week ending July 18th was just under 18,000. That's the lowest since March 14th, before the stay-at-home orders took effect. The prior week's total was 28,360. And hiring Hoosiers is our commitment to keeping you informed of all kinds of job opportunities. And IUPUI will be hiring more than 300 people to do COVID-19 contact tracing after receiving a $10.5 million grant from the city of Indianapolis to fund that work. The IU Fairbanks School of Public Health at IUPUI will hire, train, and manage more than 300 contact tracers through December 31st. Both part-time and full-time jobs will be available. They are also looking for people who are fluent in Spanish, French, Burmese, or Russian. To apply, look for this story at hiringhoosiers.com. And if that is not the right job opportunity for you, perhaps you'll find something when RTV6 and the Indiana Black Expo team up for the virtual Hiring Hoosiers Employment Opportunity Fair. It's 1 week from today, Thursday, July 30th, from noon until 4 p.m. Quality employers are coming together to help you take the next steps in your career, and immediate job openings are available. To get connected, visit indianablackexpo.com.
The Jefferson Award for Multiplying Good honors the unsung heroes in our neighborhoods who are making a difference. Tonight, meet a man who has reached out across the state, literally, to help families, veterans, the hungry and the homeless, and those who want to do better for themselves. When we showed up to the Financial Center First Credit Union in Lawrence, Chief Executive Officer Kevin Ryan had no clue what was about to happen.
Kevin Ryan, you have no idea why we're here.
Kevin is one of those leaders who seeks to raise up those around him. Just ask the guy who nominated him.
A natural-born leader, and he is subservient to the rest of the world. He goes and does what he thinks is right.
The top boss at the credit union, but a man of service too. With Kevin leading the way, the Financial Center has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars through its annual golf outings to donate to organizations feeding the hungry, including the Moselle Sanders Foundation, the Salvation Army Food Pantry, and Gleaners Food Bank.
We just have a real focus on trying to give back to the community. So the ability to be involved with those organizations you mentioned and others is a blessing for us.
Kevin uses his passion for financial literacy to build up local households, offering free classes to arm people with the knowledge to turn their finances around and provide for their families.
They've been able to rearrange their budget, lower their payments for the money, pay off credit cards at a lower rate, and free up money. And actually, one person to be able to shop for groceries in a grocery store instead of a food pantry.
Helping feed the hungry, helping families budget and build their savings. And Kevin's doing good list goes on, with a passion to honor those who sacrificed for their country.
In some way, Kevin wanted to pay tribute to Hoosier veterans, so he launched an effort traveling around the state to credit unions, raising more than $300,000 to help build this, the Indiana Military Veterans Hall of Fame, which is open to the public.
The Hall of Fame in Lawrence features historic artifacts and recognizes Indiana veterans and their families. So far, 99 Hoosier veterans have been inducted into the Hall of Fame.
And we have, so far as I know, the only freestanding Hall of Fame in existence in the United States.
Really, it was just so many people's effort. It wasn't me. It was so many people.
So now that you know why we're here in Kevin's office, let's let him in on it too.
And I'm here because you were nominated and have received this month's Jefferson Award for Multiplying Good for all of the work and all of the ways that you make your community a better place. That medal celebrates the unsung heroes who do things just for the good of it without looking for recognition. So congratulations for being this month's Jefferson Award winner.
Thank you so much.
The Indianapolis East Side native and Ball State grad lost his dad to illness at an early age and grew up as an only child raised by his single mom, who put him on a path to leadership and service.
I had this like dynamo mom, that was like serious about this project called Kevin. And, first college graduate in her family. And if she made me pay for it, by the way. But she pushed me through those things. I'd say, listen to your mom. You know, listen to your parents. Find people in your life that'll kind of tell you where the boundaries are, and they'll keep you inside of those.
Kevin's leadership has helped Financial Center First Credit Union win 6 national awards for its adult financial literacy program. And by the way, you can find the Indiana Military Veterans Hall of Fame Memorial on Herbert Lord Road in Lawrence. It's open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Nominate someone you know who is making a difference. Just go to our website, theindychannel.com, select the menu and the life section, and click on Multiplying Good. Our Jefferson Awards partner, Multiplying Good, has also launched an awards campaign called 1 in a Million to recognize 1 million people and celebrate their service to others during the COVID-19 crisis. So many people have gone above and beyond to help others with acts of service, big and small. Anyone can be nominated. To nominate yourself or others, go to 1millionawards.com. Kevin.
Thank you, Mark. Well, the changes are subtle so far in central Indiana. They become more noticeable. Oh, what am I holding? Sweet corn. How about that? Friend of mine, Tom Shelton, dropped off some sweet corn yesterday. A lot of it's gone. Still more to eat. But whether it's sweet corn or seed corn, they all benefited from the recent rain. Timely rain across central Indiana. That's some Shelby County corn there. Photojournalist Paul Chiodo with that beautiful view. The rain chances over the next couple of days will remain low. Our next best chance for any widespread rain will come as we get to Monday. The chance for rain is very low on Sunday. All right, I've used the word change a lot. One thing, a change in wind direction. Now out of the northwest. That grabs hold of drier air, which changes the humidity level and also lowers our rain chances. To the south and east we'll go. The rest of central Indiana is dry. You may think this is hiding from us, but it can't. We're going to go find the rain. North Vernon to southeast then of Greensburg and south of Brookville Reservoir. That will continue to slide to the south and east towards Cincinnati and then northeast Kentucky and out of central Indiana and the state. That looks beautiful. Most areas that have any cloud cover now, the cumulus clouds, and there are more in southern Indiana, we'll see those fade away tonight and we'll go mostly clear in most of central Indiana. 85 in Indy. We had 86 earlier. It's 86 in Sullivan, a little warmer in Bedford. Connorsville's at 88. We'll still fall off nicely. Temperatures into the lower 60s. The coolest temperature we've had all month long is 61. Close to that in Lafayette and Terre Haute. During the day tomorrow, a mixture of clouds and sunshine, light wind, lower humidity, the best day of the week. And it's Friday. How about that? Nice combination, gives us momentum into the weekend, and we'll carry that momentum through what will be a dry weekend for 98% of us. If we see a shower or thunderstorm on Sunday, they'll be very isolated. The heat index value, though, Sunday will start to climb, should be middle to upper 90s as we get to the afternoon hours. Temperatures across the state already by noon, 83 Saturday afternoon, 87 for the afternoon high temperature. And there are the fairly uniform temperatures, a couple spots already pushing 90, but that's still with relatively low humidity on Saturday. That humidity climbs rather quickly. Sunday, quite humid, 90 degrees. The best chance for thunderstorms, that is on Monday, 87, with thunderstorms becoming likely once again and then cooler after that. There's the corn. Now I got to go find lots of butter for this. We'll be back with more news right after this.
There's no big state fair this year due to coronavirus, and dozens of 4-H fairs are also canceled. But as RTV6's Rafael Sanchez reports, the Johnson County Fair opened its gates this week, but with restrictions and new health rules.
4-Hers are getting a chance to compete, showing off their animals and homemade projects.
Most people see the fair as just like rides and like carnival games, but like I see the fair as like, it's like a big family.
This is Emily Martin's 6th year participating in the Johnson County 4-H. She, like several other young people, are showing off pigs this week. This event almost never happened because COVID-19 threatened to cancel all fair activities.
I think it's worth it because a lot of kids put in a lot of hard work like throughout the year, and I'm kind of glad that we've had it.
On the fairgrounds, there are no carnival rides, no food vendors, no crowds. The fair is only open to 4-H participants and members of their family. Masks, face coverings, and social distancing are on demand.
We've had great cooperation from the families and the kids.
Taking extra safety precautions, the fair is webcasting the events for families with health concerns or those unable to travel to Franklin. From home, people can now watch what 4-Hers have spent months working on.
We just really wanted to give the kids something special this year that they could hold on to because so many of them have not been able to compete in sports or even go to school for that matter and see their friends. So we were kind of like the last chance of 2020 for them to do something through their summer.
The chance to win ribbons and earn bragging rights has not changed, though it's fair to say many hope July 2021 will be much better.
Rafael Sanchez, RTV6.
And the Johnson County Fair ends this Saturday. Coming up at 5:30, we'll see how things are looking at the Putnam County Fair this year. They say it's like a marriage, and this one, commitment, that means family. The ceremony delayed too long by the pandemic that finally got to happen. That's ahead when the news continues at 5:30 on RTV6.